Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back. I am here with a newer video for me. It's more like a book review or book comparison or just book discussion. It's on two different books. One book is Atomic Habits by James Clear, super popular book. And then another book that I read, I kind of want to compare the two because they're in sort of the same lane, is this one I have a hard copy of, The Lasting Impact of Positive Leadership by Stan Toler. So just some back history of both of these books. The Atomic Habits book, I'm sure you've seen everywhere. It's super popular. It's like at all like your major like Targets, Walmarts. It's all over Audible. Like it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's such an uh, popularized book. But whenever I see books like that, I'm curious as to whether it's actually good or if it's overhyped. So kind of like how I personally felt, and I know I never made a video about this, but about that Colleen Hoover book, It Ends With Us, and everyone loved it so much, and I was like, I don't get it, girl. I mean, the genre might not have been for me, and that's okay, but I kind of went into Atomic Habits like that. I was like, is this really good, or is this just an overhyped book by society? And then this one, The Lasting Impact of Positive Leadership by Stan Toler, I found in an airport. I was going to Chicago to visit my best friend. And, as one does in airports, you start browsing books. And it's funny that I'm mentioning that because I have another book that I bought right next to me at the airport on that same trip called The Creative Act, A Way of Being. I'm still reading this one. It's actually pretty decent. Yeah, it's pretty decent. Both of these books, I would say, land in like the self-help genre. Like I had definitely heard of Atomic Habits and seen it everywhere. This one I had not seen anywhere, but as someone in a leadership position at work, I felt like it wouldn't have hurt me to um, pick it up and see what was being discussed. So here are my thoughts on the two books. They're both in the, self-help genre, which we can touch on at the end. I have some thoughts on that. But I will say this book in particular, The Lasting Impact of Positive Leadership, has a lot of notes of, or not a lot of, but Christianity is webbed throughout the book. This is another one. So like my last review of Angela Johnson, where Christianity was front and center in her book. It's not front and center in this book, but there is definitely notes of Christianity and spirituality in this book. So if that is something that's gonna yuck your yum, you may want to skip this one. As a Black woman, I can't help but note that I felt like this book was written from like an extremely, or not extremely, but an obviously conservative white point of view. With that being said, it wasn't terrible. There were definitely some really good notes in here, but if you deep dive into like this content a lot, it might be redundant, so you could skip this one. But there were some things that I enjoyed about it. I really enjoyed like the one-liner pages in this book, and I'm going to show you what I mean in a second. I feel like sometimes with hard copy books, you just need something to break up the monotony sometimes. And like this book has these like, I wonder if that's focusing. It is focusing. Like those like one-liners in it. Like that one says, leaders know the journey is made of individual steps, each firmly planted in uncharted territory. And then like another one, a vision plan that doesn't plant fire in the eyes of others will not inspire buy-in. And like I really like those one-liners to kind of sit and reflect on it. And it gave you a lot to think about while you were reading the book, which I really enjoyed. I would say overall, it's just an okay book. You could skip it, but like if you are searching for like more leadership skills, this isn't going to hurt you. It was, how much was it? It was $12.99, and I'm sure that's an airport markup price. Okay, so it wasn't bad. It's like it fit in my purse. Like after I, got off the plane and, was at my best friend's house, I kind of took this with me places to read it. And then after that, I took it to my Sunday job because it fit my purse. Like, I mean, that's not going to hurt you. Yeah, I mean, if you have the room for it. It's not going to hurt you to pick it up. Um, I would definitely recommend the hard copy for that, like what I just said, of being able to sit with some of these quotes. I recommend that. And I think that that is a mistake that I made for Atomic Habits, because Atomic Habits, like this book, The Lasting Impact of Positive Leadership, I felt like was skippable. Atomic Habits, honey, I didn't feel that way. And like, so it's such a hyped up book. And as soon as I was like, I don't know, maybe like 2 minutes into the Audible, I saw why. There are so many gems, there's so many tidbits in this book. And a mistake that I think I made with this book was not having the hard copy. Like, I enjoyed hearing the author read it. I did. And I did enjoy the Audible. Long wait. Shocker, long wait. But I really wish that I had had that in a hard copy, because he was saying some things that I wish that I could revisit, or re-ingest, or like, what was that he said about this that I really wanted to incorporate in my life. Like, I'm telling you, I'm like, making voice notes after hearing things in this book, like, do this, do that. Like, it was so powerful to me. I wrote down some stuff that really spoke to me from this book in particular. Like, the small tidbits, or like the catchy phrases that are probably what makes this book popular, were all just freaking dope. Like, one of the ones that spoke to me was that winners and losers all have the same goals. You just need, it's the person who keeps persevering and keeps going that ends up on top. And another tidbit that really stuck with me was the idea that, so like, on a scale of success, there is a percentage of, like, if you're going from 0 to 100%, success is getting it to 51. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of the times we are, and by success, I mean success with building a good habit, because the book is about building good habits. That success is getting it to that 51%. You don't always have to knock it out of the park. It doesn't always have to be 100%, which can seem like kind of self-defeatist. But if you have this vision of like always being perfect, or always doing things the right way, or by the book, or knocking it out of the park every time, you're never going to win, and you're going to get in this like self-defeatist attitude. And that really stuck with me, because when I tell you that is something that I do as a person, that is something that I do as a person. So it was so great to just think, oh, that's success. Or even like something small, like building a habit and stacking your habits on other habits. That was a huge takeaway for me from this book, probably the biggest one. So, like, for example, if your habit, or your bad habit, is sitting down and watching TV every day, but you want to work out more, put lifting weights before the TV, or put lifting weights after the TV, and start small. So, like, lift your weights for 2 minutes. That may seem like nothing, but it's establishing the habit. Loved that. Really enjoyed this book. I thought it was so good. My only mistake was not getting the hard copy. I wish I'd had the hard copy. And if I ever, want to blow some stacks on some books that I've already read, this would be on the list for sure. I really enjoyed Atomic Habits. If you can get your hands on it, definitely check that one out. And I think that's all I have to say about those two books. I am giving away this book, The Lasting Impact of Positive Leadership. So if you are interested in keeping this book, leave me a comment and I will ship this out to you for free. We need to do more book sharing in the world. Like, what is this going to do? Sit on my shelf? If you're interested in that book, obviously I don't have a copy of Atomic Habits, but if you're interested in The Lasting Impact of Positive Leadership, I'm happy to send that your way. And so I thought I was going to have some time to talk about my hot topic from earlier, but I don't have that time. So I'm going to just set the stage for it, and we'll talk about it in another video. I really wanted to talk about thoughts on self-help books. I've had some controversial takes on it, and I'm curious what you guys have to say. So I'm going to present my case in another video, and I'll come back. But thanks for checking out my channel. I really do enjoy making these videos. I really do. Thanks for watching them if you are watching them, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.